Hello and welcome to another tutorial working with HTML. In this tutorial, we will going to continue working with tables and CSS. In all the past examples, I've simply used HTML with tables and did not incorporate any CSS. However, the example that I'm about to share with you includes a lot of CSS, and then you can see how CSS can be used to enhance the look and feel of a table. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on creating a little portion in my page where I would like to display some content, and I would like to display a surrounding border. Okay. Now the surrounding border that I want to give all around that content area, and this will be a border that will actually be an image. So I'll take the image and transform it into a border of a table. So this is not one of the built-in borders. The built-in borders are those that we have talked about in the past, the double, ridge, outset, inset, and some of the other types. There are a total 8 of them. But here we will learn how to use an image as a border of a page. So I already picked up like a couple of images and I've placed in this folder where I have my code. But before I continue, it's extremely important to understand the structure of the document. I'm using an external cascading style sheet. So these are the two external cascading style sheets that I'm using. Borders to take care of the borders, and table text format, which is to take care of the contents. Now this is something that HTML programmers will do, is to create a table as a 3x3 entity. What basically that means is that they were going to create a table and divide it up into 9 portions. As you can see over here, the highlighted area, this is the top portion. And I've divided up the top portion into top left, top, and top right. This is the middle row. I've divided this up into left, content area, which is the centerpiece, and right. And then I have a bottom row, as you can see over here, the highlighted region, bottom left, bottom right. So in 8 regions, bottom left, bottom right, right, left, and top left, top, and top right. In 8 of these regions, I will be putting in my border. And the reason we have these 8 regions is so that we could divide up our borders into 8 regions. And the reason I'm taking this longer approach, because sometimes you need to use different images for different corners. So that is why this approach is extremely beneficial. Let's say if you have an image that curves from the sides. So you will have a total of 4 images that are for the curves. And then you will going to have some of the other images for the top, an image for the bottom, an image for the left, an image for the right. So if you're working with 8 images, it's extremely important to dissect your region into 8 regions. And that's basically the reason I'm taking this longer approach, so that I could teach you that this approach could be used in any situation, in any circumstances. Another thing to remember is that there are 4 regions that are fixed, which are top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. What does that mean? That means since there are corners, so whatever image you will be placing over there will not going to be repeated. So we can use the no repeat feature. And the top and the bottom will use an image that will repeat itself to the width of the table, whatever is the width of the table. So that way I do not have to worry about how long of an image should I get. All I need to do is just use the property repeat x. So keep repeating as long as there's a width to a table. And for the left and the right, I'm going to just simply do repeat y. So it'll be one image that will keep repeating till I reach the height of the table. So that's how I do not have to then worry about, or I'm not limited by the size of one particular table. And I could have several regions within my website, and I could be using the same set of images. So that's why I've divided it into 8 border regions. And then I have the center region over here, which holds the text. Now, I'm using certain classes here: top left, top right, left, right, bottom left, bottom right. So these are the 8 classes that I have written out in the borders.css file. And There are a couple of other classes like contents and updates that I've written out in the table text format.css class. So let's have a look at the table text format CSS class here. It holds three classes, one for the H1, one for the updates, and one for the division. Now for the H1, it gives a font size of 2.2 EX, which is a relative font size, and text align, color, background color, font, padding, margin, letter spacing, all of these properties for H1, similarly for H2, and similarly for my division. Now notice, anything in my division, I'm displaying a little border to its left, which will be double, 4 pixels. This will be the color of the border. And these are the margins and paddings. So I am setting things up, and you're going to see the output pretty soon. And here's my borders. Now notice very carefully the way I've set these borders up. So I've written a borders class on my table. This is the margin, and there's a property in CSS called border collapse. What basically that does is it is same as doing cell spacing equals to 0, which is done through HTML, and this is how we do it through CSS. And I'm setting the padding for my cells. Then I am using, now notice I have 8 classes over here, each defining a region of a TD. So I have a top left region in which I'm using the border 3, and I have border, I have a top right region, top bottom left, bottom right. In each one of the regions, I'm using the same images. However, I'm using no repeat, so that the image doesn't get repeated multiple times. But this is an extremely important thing to use, the lines that I'm currently highlighting, because for the top left, I want to use the position top left. For top right, I want to use the position top right. Bottom left, bottom left, bottom right, bottom right. So for each class, I'm using the positioning of the image. So basically, it will be putting the image in that particular TD. If I do not mention how do I want to position it, it's going to just position it the way the image is right now, which will not going to look pretty nice. So I'm just positioning the image right, so my corners blend into the other borders. Similarly, I have over here a top border, a bottom border, and notice I'm repeating the X because it's over the horizontal axis, and I'm mentioning that this is the position is top. For this, the position is bottom. So within the cell, use the top portion. Within the cell, use the bottom portion. The width is auto. What auto width means whatever area is left over after filling in the corners, fill that up. So that's what the auto width means. And height I'm using is 16 pixels. Now, for the left and the right, I'm using repeat Y. However, my positioning is left or right based on the position of the border. The width is 16 pixels, but however, height is auto. So that means whatever region is left in the height, just fill it up. Now, if I would like to change my bordering style, it's so easy. All I need to do is go under search and click replace. And I would like to replace all occurrences of border 3 with that of border 1 and replace all. Okay, 8 occurrences have been replaced, saved. Now let me come back to my HTML page and let's try to run this HTML page. And here you can see the output. So you can see that I have used here, this is my top left corner, this is my top right corner. This, you can see several occurrences of the same image over the top, several occurrences of the same image bottom. This is the left and this is the right. Now, it becomes so much easier to display or change the borders. So I will go and demonstrate that. So if I'm back to borders.css, and that's where you can see the power of CSS. So all I need to do is, I would like the occurrences of all border 1s to be now replaced with border 2s. Replace all, save. Now notice all border 1s have now been changed to border 2s. And now I am back to my page. See how easy it is to change the look and feel of the entire border? Just use a different image and that's it. The entire look and feel changes. You can keep the same width and everything else as you want to keep it. So anyway, that's how you can be applying borders, which are pictures, to the tables. And as I said earlier, I'm using the same image repeatedly. You could be using different images, and one of the reasons people would use different images is if they are curving the sides to create a rounded rectangle look and feel. Well, that's all for now for this tutorial. Hope you would have enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.